As a heads up, there will be spoilers for the movie Battle Angel Alita. If you would like to email the show for any reason, we would love your comments. Please email us at bsreviewstuff@gmail.com. Thank you and enjoy the show. Hello. Welcome to... now we should have a better intro with that. What should be our intro?
Welcome to BS Reviews Alta movie review.
Well, is there any front chatter?
Not really. Is everybody sober? No.
No!
No.
Absolutely not.
I'm hardly sober. I just been thinking. I had a 2-hour movie to space me out between drinks, so I'm pretty good.
All right.
So, welcome to PS Reviews. I'm Brett.
I'm Storm.
I'm Alicia. I'll be your basic bitch for the evening.
And I'm Rachel.
And yes, we got our friends here. There's one previous show before this, and let me put those down so they're not on my head. It was just me, Storm, and Rachel, but we brought our friend Alicia with us, and she's never read Alta, so she's our outside pair of eyes, but she's also very afraid of animatronics.
Scary eyes. There were scary eyes happening tonight.
And there was more than scary eyes, I'm sure. How were the other robots?
You know, the other robots weren't so bad.
I guess they're technically cyborgs.
Cyborgs. That is very true.
Or androids. Dragon Ball, I'm looking at you.
I don't know, man. Because the way I see it, if you need robotic parts to live, you're a cyborg.
What if you just have like one arm?
You're a cyborg.
Okay.
You need that.
All right, Rachel. Opinion?
About the movie?
No, about the cyborg part.
Honestly, I've never been scared of cyborgs, so that really didn't bother me that much, honestly. Yeah, the eyes could have been a little bit more, I guess, humanoid, but the rest of her body looked really good, especially after she got the berserk body.
Oh, yes. But,
all right. I think where we should start off is how do we rate the movie as a movie by itself, not considering like the rest of the content that could have been changed, but the movie by itself within isolation.
Okay, so do you want to do a scale 1 to 5 or
whatever your own scale is? You got to state it though. So, like I usually do 1 out of 10, but you can use your own scale if you want. You haven't seen it, so you're probably the closest one to being realistic.
Yeah,
where we got to try to dig a couple of manga.
I'm gonna say a 5 because I was drunk for like
5
half
out of
of
10?
it. Yeah.
5 out of 10, right in the middle.
That's what I saw.
All right.
but that's being deadly afraid of animatronics.
Of animatronics, yeah.
And also very drunk, so pretty good.
Very drunk.
If you can still get a 5 out of like, there's terror in this movie for me.
What's that one guy where it's like it's a good time, alcohol required? You know the movie guy I'm talking about. Alcohol required. That's
alcohol required.
I would say alcohol required for this because it's man, the pacing's kind of weird, but we'll get to that. But rating, what was your rating?
If I had to give it a rating based off its manga, I'd almost give it a 7 out of 10 because it was definitely better than some of the other previous ones I've seen them do from adaptation from a manga to live action. And they did this one, a few changes, but it wasn't completely retconned like Evolution. That was completely retconned from the beginning.
Dragon Ball Evolution. Ooh.
Yeah, that was completely retconned.
Brett, do you have a rating?
I'm still settling on it. Like, I've been thinking about it since we drove home from the movie theater, but
mine's only a 6 out of 10, which is pretty low.
You're always brutal towards movies.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, at least it was.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some slow parts, and it was kind of weirdly paced and some beats, but it was at least all there as a movie. Now, does it break me on my heart on some things they changed? Yes.
Like, overall, like, I really appreciated the art direction.
You did?
Yes.
Even with the things that freaked you out?
I mean, like, Alta's creepy eyes aside, like, the design of like the floating city, whatever that was called. I really
Zayla?
like that. Yes, thank
Or
you.
old name, Taskbar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Whatever that was, I enjoyed that.
Okay. What did you, since you're our like outside person, don't know anything else about the series, how'd you feel about like theming of the movie? What do you think were the key points? Like what, just dish out like.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like, I was very drunk throughout the whole thing, but like, I feel it had something to say about humanity and what it means to be human.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the whole thing about it's more personal, but that's another core tenet of the manga series is like, oh, what is it to be alive even? So,
Yeah. Now let's really cut into it and start criticizing it, because I think that's where the good and meat of it. We were nice about as nice as we can be to it. Oh man, everything's just blended up together in a weird order in this movie. I mean, I know the motorball, they wanted in there, and I feel like they shoved it in there because they're afraid they're not going to get a second movie. So they're like, let's get motorball in there now and at least get one decent movie, maybe. Because I'm pretty sure they think they're not getting a second movie, even though they want to make another one. So, yeah, it just, like, there's hard cuts and being like, wait, we're over here now. Oh, now we're over here. We're jumping a lot. There's a lot of jump cuts. And I think that kind of messes with it cinematography-wise. But, oh man, what did they change that we don't like?
well, the scrapyard.
The scrapyard's still too clean.
Rachel was telling me that on the way home, and during the movie, we're just looking at like the first 30 minutes, and she's like, "It's too clean." Like, do you still feel that even after seeing the whole thing? Like,
honestly, seeing the scrapyard in the manga and seeing the scrapyard in the live action, I could see where they had to kind of clean it up a little bit, but it was so much more trash and filth, and people were not living as well as they were living in the movie as they were in the manga.
Yeah.
The manga, they were having to really scrap around and find work and everything. And the movie's like, oh look, everybody has houses and good things. I mean, not even Ido's house looked that good in the manga.
Yeah. Like, I like when apocalyptic movies have like nice things still. Like Mad Max does this, where it's like everything's real shitty, but they have like really nice cars and like there's that design. It can still have that, but I felt like literally someone was sweeping the streets too much. We have that one dark alley scene where it's like a little grungy. I'm like, no, it needs to be grungy all the time. Like in the daytime, it like looked too clean. Like it need more, just like filth everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
it was too Blade Runner when it needed to be more Mad Max.
Oh yeah. And it felt like Blade Runner was even more filthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it needed more of that, just like
Grunge.
no one's sweeping the streets kind of mentality.
Yeah, but they didn't have Blade Runner money to work with.
Yeah, that's okay.
True, good point.
I think
I think a lot of their cuts come down to, because I don't know how big their budget was, but whatever they did have is blown on their CG. So
yeah, CG and to get
having a standard like
the robot parts.
Yeah,
which I'm sure I'm kind of unsure what was propped and what was like just, you know, the foam arms of green that they can animate later. But it seemed like they spent a lot of effort to do as much prop work as they could too. I don't know if that's true, but I felt like that's why a lot of things kind of worked when people react to it. But I would like to see how much was prop work and how much was CGI. Like, most of it is CGI, clearly, because there's some things like are impossible to prop. But yeah.
Some weird changes is like the and I think this is from the OVA, because in the OVA they're also just like diamond dots on their head for the terrorist symbol.
Oh, is it like that in the OVA?
I think it's been a long time since I've seen the OVA, but that's where that chick comes from too. Is from the OVA, because the OVA is the same thing except without Motorball, but they add her to it to do some other things.
Man, it's been so long since
Yeah,
I've seen it.
it's been so long since I've seen the OVA. I
felt
can't
like-
remember, but I know that's where she's from. That's where because she doesn't show up in the original, but she is in the OVA, so that's where they get her
I
from.
didn't even know that.
But yeah, they killed what's his name?
Victor.
Victor. They killed Victor at the very end, and I'm like, that's weird. They don't really need to anyway. He's quote unquote the bad guy, but only in the respect that he's like
Working for Nova.
he's not even working for Nova.
No.
He's just the main underground guy working for the factories. He doesn't even know who Nova is in the Alta series. He's way over somewhere in the desert in the.
Even in the movie, like when she killed him, it's just like, oh man, she didn't need to do that. She just needed to turn around and like, I'm coming for you, Nova, and just like left him alive because like, man, he didn't need to die. Like,
I think.
I know that's story potential for the next movie,
Yeah.
but it's just
well,
squandered.
we know what he does. Me and Storm and Rachel know what he does in the manga. It's like, oh, he still needs to be around.
Yeah.
Kill him up.
He kind of had a few more things to do in the manga.
I think even in the movie it shows like, oh, he's not really bad. He's just a puppet in this guy's plans, and Alta, you don't need to kill him to get to Nova. You just need to get to Nova.
Yeah, because Hugo's there when he learns, like, I can't send people up to Salem and, like, as whole people. I do their body parts and send them up. That's the only way to get people up to Salem as his body parts.
And here's your
And then he goes crazy, tries to climb up the pipe up there, and they send the rings down at you if you do that. So,
And
yeah,
then he becomes,
like he just
and
loses
he gets
it.
cut in half, and he gets cut in itty bitty pieces.
Ugh.
Then he dies. Spoilers. Well, I don't know why you're listening to this if you're worried about spoilers. Why? What? Whatever.
Spoiler warning! You have
Spoiler warning.
I'll
Hugo
put it
dies.
in the
Alright,
title.
guys.
I'll put it in the title of the episode. It's like, but I mean, I found it weird that the Damascus blade was with that other guy.
Because
like,
it wasn't in the manga with him, because it was
Yeah.
built specifically for her when she got into the rollerball arc.
Yeah, but they gotta try to cram the motorball stuff in with the first half. So it's like,
Yeah.
I guess
weird.
adding the motorball people is 2 more characters that they can't afford. So like Hugo's not supposed to be a coach. It's supposed to be this totally new guy. I'm like, come on, you can't pay some other guy to be like the motorball person.
And Ido had no idea she was even doing motorball.
Oh, and what bugged me the most though was she fights too much in her first body.
Yeah, because she didn't fight that much in her first body. She
Well, the
didn't-
first time she does, it wrecks it. Like, not the thing she...
second
Okay.
time. She breaks it a little bit when she gets in her first kill with the girl that's actually killing the girls at night when she thinks it's Ido.
That they
Yeah.
didn't address.
Which they
in
changed
that
a little,
movie.
but they kind of did a real good job for, like, compressing that for the movie. That kind of went pretty well. And it's a really good fight scene. And, another real good thing, I think they were pretty obsessed with, like, getting how she moves and fights down really well, which I did appreciate. Because Alta fights and moves very well. If I could fucking do it, I would fucking love it. Like, but she, like, her stances when she fights is just, like, spot on. That's what the one thing I think they try to get down pat is like, these panels from the movie when she does these sets of fighting moves to get you in that stance, to get you in that look, which I will say they did a very good job. There's a lot of iconic stances and fighting moves that they show during it, and it's just down pat and really good. I really like the choreography. Maybe another part they spent more focus on to get down, which for the action scenes probably it did. We just saw it paid off really well. So, I mean, but the Damascus blade coming from that one guy, like, it's just weird that he has it. Like, he doesn't even fight with a sword or anything. He just, with his fist. So
He still loses his face though.
still loses his face, but more than that, and also they blow him up too.
Spoiler
I think.
alert.
Oh, spoiler alert for the manga. In the movie, they kept him lying. He's just holding his face. I'm like, no, you're supposed to be more dead than that, mister.
Super
Supposed to be-
dead.
Yeah, super dead.
Not just that. He's supposed to be That guy's not coming back.
He does slightly worse things in the because Hugo he's actually a spine thief in the manga. He
he doesn't steal robot parts. He steals body parts.
Yeah,
because they're more valuable.
Yeah, they're more valuable.
Especially the backbone.
Yeah, because they can't build backbones. So him and his gang he was still running with steal backbones, and that's kind of like
that's a crime.
That's kind of worse if you think about it. It's like, oh, you stole body parts to where it's like you stole somebody's entire backbone.
They need that.
Yeah, but that would have been harder to show and do. So, I guess so. And I guess he feels sorry and tries to quit in the movie, but he never really does in the manga. He just a bounty eventually gets put out on him, and stuff like that. So
he needs some drama for the movie.
Yeah, they need to be like, is he a good person? When the honest answer was, no, he never really was. He got too obsessed trying to go to Salem at any cost, and then it like blew up in his face like it was.
He needed to be more obsessed with it too.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people needed to be more obsessed with Salem.
Because he's obsessed with it because his brother was building a flying machine, which is also illegal in the scrapyard and by the factories, which put a bounty out on his brother.
Well, even trying to float up to it is a crime. They just rocket you out of the sky.
Yeah.
But that's manga doc. We're talking about movie doc. What movie?
Well, it gave him motivation because he wanted to get to the place where his
F8
brother...
wants to get to Salem. That's understandable. You want to go to the city in the fucking sky. That's all we need to know. That's motivation enough. But we need to talk about the movie. What else? Who else got more stuff from the movie?
For a second there... Okay, go ahead.
You got more for us?
Honestly, at least in the movie, I will admit the one fight scene I was happy I guess they kept in it, but then they changed a little bit, was the bar fight. We still got the bar fight.
Okay, the bar fight was fucking cool.
Yeah.
My one pet peeve is, though, the main guy trying to come in and kill her, there was no baby to steal. That was the whole point of her chasing him, was he stole a baby in the manga, but there was no baby in this one.
Wow,
Like they just
cheap.
did the kill the dog thing.
They killed the puppy.
Killed the puppy. Oh, but the dog guy is a guy in the manga.
He is.
Except he has like one of those like Russian furry hats.
Oh, that's right.
Also looks a lot older, but yeah, I will say he looks super cool.
Yeah.
In the movie.
He's like, I'm here because any guy who doesn't like dogs, I kill him.
Mm-hmm. He broke dog law.
He broke dog rule number 1. Don't hurt the puppy.
He got John Wick.
Don't hurt the dogs.
Don't hurt the dogs.
Yeah.
So somebody's gonna add this movie to that website. Does the dog die?
Oh man,
The dog
dies.
The dog dies.
Oh man.
More than the dog dies. A lot of people dies. I mean, Alta's kill count in the manga is a lot higher, but she kills I think at least 4 or 5 people.
At
in this
least-
movie.
But
least
we
that
only
many.
care about the dog.
I know.
She didn't kill him, though.
No,
What is
Alta
that?
didn't kill the dog.
The dog was
That's
her
for the
friend.
record.
How about for you? We need pros or cons for the movie. Anything they changed you liked or didn't like?
Honestly, the things I really enjoyed were a lot of the fight scenes. It was really, it's really hard to choreograph fight scenes from anime, manga to live action. They actually did a really good job. The one things, I felt like the Hugo thing did get dragged out a lot more because he didn't play mullet ball. He wasn't the intro to her with getting into it. So I felt like the Hugo did get dragged out a little bit more, but the fight scenes to me were always really good to watch and well done.
Koyomi? That's the baby's name. Koyomi. Which is weird that she's not there at all because she
plays a big role later.
Yeah, she's a bigger role later.
Maybe she'll be in the sequel if they get a sequel.
Yeah, if they get a sequel, she might be there. Of course, she doesn't show back up in the manga again until
she's 14 or something like that.
No,
after the mullet ball.
Because there's a 3 or 5 year jump after she becomes an agent for Salem.
Yeah, they got time to build it up.
Because she's an adolescent she's
she's
10 or 12 by the time she sees her again. So there's a time jump.
I thought she was a little older, but
I don't think she's that old because
No.
it's the post-apocalypse and we got no time for no children. You gotta work now.
Yeah.
So, the something I found weird in the movie that's different and weird is Ido has the black assistant, which is almost a mute. She says a few lines, but I felt like there was like camera on her and she would just say nothing. I'm like, yeah, she does have the look for that scene, but one, it's weird that they change it from that other character that's supposed to be
The guy with the head plate?
yeah, with the head plate. But I mean, to give her not his lines, I'm like, that's even weirder. Like, she gets to be there.
Yeah, I thought it weird that she'd be like standing in scenes but never say anything.
Yeah.
And they never
For some
mention-
scenes, it's work because she's got that look.
Yeah.
And to be like, oh, okay, I get it. But there was some where it just didn't work. I'm like,
So you
give her
think she's
dialogue.
not
Someone
cut-
please get her for dialogue.
Yeah. So you think they cut dialogue for her? Probably.
Oh, they probably
Actually,
did.
did they? Did
Maybe
she have
not.
lines in the trailers? Can't remember.
I have to look
She
at
had
the
a few
trailers.
dialogue in the movie, but it felt like there was a lot where either they cut it or they just didn't have any for it. I'm like, mistake. There's could be words here.
Yeah.
And I felt the but man, I'm still just processing the whole movie with like. I'm sure I got more to say, but I can't just bring it up. I want to
That's the
say it's a good movie, like it is.
It's only good though. It's not like the anime movie to fix all other anime movies because it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
But it's
That's
good.
an unreasonable
It's not
standard.
bad,
But
but it's not great.
They're
It's good.
It's good.
working on it.
Mhm.
They're
They're
figuring
building it up.
this out.
I mean, like, our standard is like Dragon Ball Evolution, so, you know, we
Yeah.
gotta give credit where
not a
credit
lot.
is due.
It passed the bar, but that bar wasn't high.
Yeah.
The bar wasn't high.
That hurdle is set as low as it can get. And through the force of will, through the people who are working on it, they got it over.
Yeah.
I mean, even Japan has a hard time adapting manga anime to live
That
action.
is true.
I mean, they actually kind of didn't do too bad transferring Sailor Moon over because it made it very Power Ranger.
Oh, yeah.
And then the musicals are actually well done.
Oh,
but
the musicals are great.
Sailor Moon actually kind of figured it out, but
They put their best foot forward, and it shows.
Yeah, but they
I think musicals have a little easier time because you mostly have to focus on getting good songs.
And you
And
have
set
3
pieces.
hours to do it.
Everything
so.
else is like, what do we set up to get to those musical numbers? And then as long as your new musical numbers are good, yeah, you've got a passable musical.
well, there was the live action TV show that ran. That was basically the first
Flushy
season.
Luna.
Was it any
Yeah.
good?
We
Actually, yes.
You
It
sure
was-
about that?
No.
Yeah.
Are you
no,
sure this isn't Sailor
shut
Moon
up.
bias?
No,
up.
no,
It's
it
good.
was actually very Power
It's good.
Ranger-esque.
I will eviscerate you. It's good.
I can't give you input on this. I haven't seen the
Storm,
live action.
think of like cheesy 90s. It's still cheesy 90s Power Rangers, but with Sailor Moon.
Oh, it's
Okay.
amazing. The fucking
And Luna and Armus are plushies.
the evil Amy arc is the best.
What? Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was that evil. I mean,
It's amazing.
So we need something to close this out with. Or no, before we close out, anything that you love or hated.
I mean, aside
About the
from
movie.
Creepy Eyes, I really did love the art direction. Like, I love the world that they inhabited, and I wanted
Okay.
to see more of it.
I will say one of the best things about the manga is like the world is just super flushed out, and they did pretty good on the movie. Like they would show like the wall, the hydroponic wall, like surrounding the city is really cool looking scene, and you just show it for just the scene it's in, but you already get what it does. You're like, oh, that keeps shit out, and you can't get through that. Like, good luck. But what else about the art? What specifically about the art direction you think
I
pops
really
out? to you?
like, cause like the floating city. It really reminded me of the saucer in Midgard of Final Fantasy VII. Like, it really reminded me of that, and I really liked that.
Oh, cool. How about what you... I mean, you really disliked the animatronic eyes.
Oh God,
right?
yes, absolutely.
But anything else you disliked that was like...
I don't know.
awkward?
Like, aside from her creepy eyes, like, I found like the art direction and like the action really good.
So you like the looks of the body still?
I did, yeah. That scene where like
It's like from the neck
that
down.
big buff guy, like where his like robotic spine was like kind of dangling, and I guess they were trying to fix him. I thought that was really cool.
That's the closest we get to him being a worm guy, is him dangling out there. So it's like, you had it. Now if he just moves on his own and takes over bodies on his own, he'd be who he is in the manga. But
yeah. Because, like, the whole robotic people, like, as a whole, I really enjoyed. It's just Alta and her, like, just gigantic, huge eyes that just put me off.
Okay, so just a huge eye.
Yeah.
Alright, Storm. Oh, I finally remember something that I want to bring up. Okay. One thing I think that could have kicked this movie to something that would have been a whole lot better is if they went the alien route with the technology. They have a couple of... Like, it's supposed to be the far future, so yeah, I get, like, some fancy technology. But if the monitors were more like CRTs and big screens, and there was a lot of weird monitors all over the place instead of, like, fancy sci-fi monitors, I think would have been a whole lot better. And you could do that. I've seen,
that's why you mentioned Aliens, because they do that on, like, the ship in Aliens.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
it's still the
future.
80s, 90s tech, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's all in there. Like, and that would be like, oh, this is the apocalypse, but it's apocalypse from, like, an older generation, too. And I think when Nova speak, like, in the movie, they got Nova to speak through the eyes, which was interesting, but he's a lot scarier when he just, like, because monitors are still all over the place, because we're humans, we're still going to get that shit to work no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, when he pops over on the monitors... And it's him, and it's all, like, rough screen. He's a lot more scarier that way. Like, when he just, like, pops out of nowhere, it's like, motherfucker, how did you find me here? Like, how do you even know, like, this is happening right now? But truth is, Nova knows everything. Knows more than what he should know, so he's able to find you.
yeah.
But I felt like if they introduced that older tech and more monitors, and yeah, the cyborgs were great, but some of them need to be like more fucked up. Like, I wish they had like more fucked up bodies, like shit weird stuff that's barely working. They showed it when it was like being repaired and whatnot. The motorball was more safer than it needed to be. Like, they had the full glass screens where, like, there's no safety precautions they take in motorball. It's like, oh, if shit goes wrong and, like, something, like, hits the audience, they don't give a fuck. They're like, yeah, some of the more slum people die. We don't give a fuck.
That's the risk you take coming to this.
But, I think...
Yeah. That's my gripe, is there's none of the weird stuff. All the weird stuff is gone. The weirdest we get is the main bad guy in his, like,
They did have a
arm.
Cylinder Man. They have the one.
They have a Cylinder Man, but he's more like a robot, not like a little cylinder guy.
They
with,
just
like,
need to give him that flesh face.
Yeah, the little flesh face is still in front of him, and being like,
They got scared.
Yeah.
They got scared and didn't
it's
do
like,
it.
you should have just made it that little bit weirder. Just turn the weirdness dial a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Make it a little. I need people with treads and weird, like, octo arm bodies walking around and like
Exposed skulls and
Yeah.
Unhuman eyes.
And the second thing is, it's not violent enough. There's not enough blood.
Yeah. They
It's
did
too
blue
clean.
blood.
They did blue blood when they can, but
But it's, I guess that's a
Like-
cheat for the rating. But
Yeah.
like, shit just needs to be fucking bloody. Like, the only blood was the dog's blood.
we didn't even see any brains.
Yeah.
There's a lot of exposed brains in Alta. A lot of them.
Supposed to be.
Some get eaten because that Makoa guy eats brains.
That's just a tragedy.
Yeah, so like the weird stuff, it's like they put it in a blender and then like sanded Alta all down. So the core is there. Her self-identity and her searching on what it is to be human or not. That's there.
And her searching for herself too. That was there. So that
But
made
like
me
all
happy.
the weird pokey edges that make you love Alta as a manga, those are like gone. And you're like, oh, that's a bummer.
Made her too nice by fighting for justice too.
Yeah.
She just fights because it's the only thing she knows how to do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, she's just like
If I fight more, I'll probably remember more.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a missed opportunity.
Plus, it's what I'm good at, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, she's the best at it, and it's great. Although I like how she does take a few hits. Like, she does get fucked up, and she fucks things up.
Yeah.
But doesn't make her, like, perfect. Like, things still get a hit or two on her, and she, like, goes flying against the wall. But she gets back up and always fighting. I will say, James, which was a friend of ours sitting by me, is like, the best part for him when she does that, she only has one arm left, and she jumps up with it and hits that guy in the eyeball. And he's like, was that in the manga? I'm like, yes, they did. That's almost frame by frame, except with a different body. Or wait, no, it wasn't. Was it with
No, it was. It was his first body, which was just a big, bulky body, like when we first
No,
saw
her
it.
body.
Oh, yeah.
It was her first body.
Yeah, that was her first body.
Except, that was another weird thing. With that.
Yeah, it's weird. One,
the daughter
Alta was
body?
his daughter. He named Alta because Alta was his old cat. He didn't have a daughter beforehand. It's like...
That was a movie.
It's like, because he's like, your name's Alta, and the assistant guy's like, wasn't that your cat? He's like, she'll remember her other name and we'll use that. So it's like, it was really just a temporary name placeholder name, because he thought he'd get her memory back and remember her name, so... Like, Alta was just his cat beforehand. So that's weird.
I had to get that man pain in the movie, man.
So... But... It's not the worst movie. It was worth it still.
Yeah.
I don't have to, like, pretend it doesn't exist or something.
Like many other movies we pretend don't exist. Or would like to.
Yeah.
But they keep getting brought up. But any more thing to add? Anything you liked or disliked? Or
I will admit the one thing I didn't like was knowing how she originally got the Berserk body and versus oh yeah, here's this abandoned ship. Maybe you know this weird ass technology. Because
that was a little bit too.
That was
memorized.
like that just felt way out of place because Ido had the body.
Yeah.
He had the Berserk
That's
body.
right. Yeah.
He had it in his secret basement that he kept
and then
stuff
like she goes off with Hugo and his buddies and like, hey, yeah, we found this ship out like side in the Badlands and stuff like that. Maybe I'll jog your memory. She's like, yeah, I found this suit out there I wanted. I was like, no, and I'm like, fine, I'll break this suit and then you'll have no choice to put me in this. And
Yeah. Because originally Ido was the one that was roaming around for years because he was banished from, spoilers, Zalem. And so he meandered on the surface for years, and he found that Berserk body and went, oh, this is too dangerous just to leave lying around. I'm going to keep it in my secret basement where nobody can get to it. And then when she gets in the fight with the first time with Makoa, when she's trying to first be a bounty hunter and she wrecks her first body and almost dies, that's when he puts her in that thing where it's like, okay, she's going to be fighting. I'm going to give her the best body I have to fight in. And that's how that goes down. So, and it is smart. It's not nanomachines. They say nanomachines in the movie, but it's just smart metal, I think, or soft metal.
I can see why they say nanomachines because it does make sense as well.
But and we've definitely developed our terminology since when we first wrote the manga.
Yeah.
So I can see where that's like just something minor that actually explains.
Like it sounds better in the movie.
Yeah, it makes it definitely.
Where like the audience
but the main thing is it's soft metal because Nova's the only guy crazy enough to actually get nanomachines to work. So it's weird that the Berserker body's nanomachines now.
I guess so.
To where the Berserker body is not even the most powerfulest body out there, but oh well. Maybe they thought they were going to use it for the entire
That's
series.
like not the strongest one she got either.
No.
So.
But it is strong and it is dangerous.
Alright.
But how do we end this? Like, do we end with something else or do we...
No, I think that's it. I would suggest to still go see the movie if you're still interested. If you haven't, I think it's still worth a watch. If not, if you don't want to spend theater money, definitely see it on like Netflix or whatever else it comes out on. If you just want to wait for it to stream or whatever.
As an outsider, it's a pretty good action movie for what I've seen.
Yep. So, end of show. Commercial break. Woo! No, we don't have to.
I shifted like way later in the manga.
Well, I found it weird that they were attacking on the moon scene school. I don't know why they
That
went ahead and
was
made that
cool.
Mars. And I felt
That's the
was
original-
Alta attacking Taskbar in the books? I'm trying to remember.
don't think
It's an older
so.
war, but they're at war with. They're still at war with. What's the place above Taskbar? What's that city called?
Oh.
The space one?
Yeah, they're at war with that place.
Was that the place where they had the tournament?
Mumbai?
Is it-
Mumbai?
Was that the place with the tournament and all those freaky fat people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would eat. What did they do? Eat children? There was like something creepy with them.
One guy was gonna eat a kid.
Yeah.
Holy
She tried
shit.
to buy it.
Yeah, they're like
The
stupid fat.
No, I thought those were the.
It's like all you see is like
no,
a head. And
those
like,
are the
like-
Venusians.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Those guys are from Venus. The people from the place above Taskbar on its space elevator. I wish they showed that a little more because you don't get to see Taskbar's hooked by like this giant elevator column all the way up to where you can't see.
Yeah.
But that implies that there's a counterweight up
Oh
there.
yeah, and they made it where it sounded like there was more than one sky crane. There was just one sky crane. There's only one Taskbar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, there was more than one, and they went to war. Oh yeah, another gripe. Like, 300 years in the future. Motherfucker, it's more than 300 years.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it was the Great War. Like, yeah, I could see you could change it to that. The dialogue, okay, yeah, you're just trying to get the movie started so you get to this other stuff. Whatever. But it is like, wasn't a Great War. One, another meteorite came by. And
No.
we try to answer the question, hey, how you doing on that space program? Not good enough.
No, that's not exactly what happened. The Alta timeline's a slightly alternate timeline, and it gets fucking complicated, so we'll strap on for a second.
right.
Okay, so the calendar starts when Sputnik launches. Yes, the Russian Sputnik. That's what they count as their, like, AU-1, or the space years or whatever, which I think Star Trek or some other sci-fi series did the same thing, where their space era starts at the launch of Sputnik.
I want to
That's
say
what they
so.
count
I want to say it
as
might
year
be Star.
one.
It might be Star Trek.
I think you're right.
But
That's what I think.
at like 2011 or something or whatever there is, that's when climate change hits and like the Earth snowballs itself.
Doesn't it snowball because a meteor hits it?
I
Are
don't
you
think
sure?
so. I'm pretty
think
sure.
so.
I'm pretty sure it just snowballs. I'd have to review the Last Order books to get the timeline exactly.
I was looking
But
over
that
it.
lasted like 500 years or something by itself.
Yeah, I think that started because a fucking meteor hit it, and we didn't have the right answer to it. We answered the same as the dinosaurs did, and that was not good enough.
Not good enough. How's your space program? Not good enough. But then again, it is because, like, in the alternate timeline, people colonized Mars already by then.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're going with, like, the alt history with, like, early Nazis on Mars kind of stuff, where it's like, people get to Mars a lot sooner than we have now.
Except that our Nazis are just normal humans. In fact, they're more heads on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Because
Well, in the manga somewhere on the panel, they do that thing where it's tongue-in-cheek pictures, haha, Nazis on Mars, or whatever.
Really?
When they first mention, like, she's from Mars, and then they mention, like, there's a picture of, like, the weird propaganda, conspiracy, Nazi UFO picture. And I'm like,
that is
Mars
hilarious.
Nazis. But, yeah. The timeline starts there, and it's, like, maybe 1,000 years. The timeline's weird, and I'd have to double check it, but
I think it's vague on itself too, because it's like you don't know when humans start fighting back. Like we're barely surviving. Some people come together. They build the sky hook. They build that spar, and then shit goes wrong, and they break away. And then you got Taskbar.
and
You got
scrapyard.
the city
It's
on
weird
the
that
top
they call
of
it
this
Iron City. Is it weird that they call it Iron City and not just the scrapyard?
It
'Cause
really is because they never called it anything other than the scrapyard in the
Yeah.
manga. It's like, oh yeah, this is this is like
Iron City.
No, it was scrap. I will admit though, at least they still called it Kansas for the bar.
Yeah,
But it's like, no, this is like the scrapyard. It's not Iron City. What the
Iron
hell?
City.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
I did think that was a little weird. But it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I will admit, I want how he goes bike.